Hi, it's David here with Futures Trading. I want to go ahead and do some real-time stuff for you for our playlist. All right, so this is our Universal Price Action Method playlist. Want to add some more stuff to it. So if you win, it's this. Now, it doesn't matter whatever methodology you're trading. I don't care what it is. It doesn't matter. We're going to do some order flow in this one. So stick around. And again, it's not going to just be on the NQ, although I have that up. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the Apple and the oil and the metals and Forex, kind of for everybody. Anybody that's watching, I'm going to cover all of that stuff. Again, just, want you to see it on all markets. It's really, really simple. But we want to put it in this playlist. So no matter what you're trading, it doesn't matter trend lines, it doesn't matter harmonic patterns, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's a part of any winning trade. It's a part of any winning trade. So why not just get to the basics of it? All right. So without any further ado, again, thank you for my subscriber. I'm so thankful that you joined me. Again, welcome, welcome, welcome. And I appreciate you having done that. If you find any video that you like, just hit the like button for me because I want to make sure the algorithm suggests the information to others. And if you know anyone that needs to learn trading and they need help, direct them here. We have a trading guide section, and you'll find some of the information, well, all the information I'm about to go over, but I'm only going to go over some of it. You can find all the information here under the trading guide. Now I have a link below this video. You can learn what the trend is. You can learn the two-leg removal. You can learn that's really, really simple. And of course, you can learn the 3 price action methods I put out, but I'm only going to cover one here, the main one, the foundational one that's a part of any winning trade. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and look at this order flow stuff along with the no touch method. So we have the colored bars. Okay, have the colored bars. For some reason, I cannot get I cannot get this to show the information above or below the candles without like shrinking the candles. I don't know how to get that done. Maybe one of you can leave me a message below and tell me how to get that to work. I don't. I'm gonna be honest. I don't use the footprint chart at all, but I have it. But here's it's kind of one of those things. You hear all this fuss about something and you just go and take a look, so I'm nosy, just wanted to go take a look. And of course I have it. So here it is. That's that red bar here. Okay, and the NC can be found above here. All right, so the NC can be found above here. Again, I told you in the last video they have a lot of data on this stuff, so much so I thought they had my password. So really, really important that you know exactly what all of this mean. I don't. So that's really, really important. If you're going to use it, try to know what all of it means. And that's why I don't use it, because I don't know what all of this stuff mean. And I'm gonna be honest, I just don't care to know. I'm older. So doesn't matter to me. I know when the candle should, push. That's all. And it's really, really simple. Hopefully I can go over that right now for you. And again, I have some more information down here, Ninja Trader order flow dots and just some other vendor information. And of course, all these arrows is mine. All right, arrows, pressure, all that. I just put that together, just something to help kind of know where to go. That's all. Really, really simple though. All right, so where are we gonna go? All right, so let's go with 930. Let's look at that real quick, and then we're gonna come back to the real time and kind of pick that apart. All right, so here's 930. They came in here. So there's 930. If we take a look at all the information here, clearly they're in an uptrend, but then they start trending down. All right, so let's do that. Let's just kind of lay a foundation here. They start trending down. You got to get 6 lower than the first one, 2, 3. Okay, 4. 4 is over here. 5, and then there's 6, and then they lift it up, and then they did the distance back down. Now I know you're probably saying they had 6 in here, right? Well, 6 higher. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They did, but the problem is they didn't break past here. They kind of came back down, went a little too far, if you ask me, and they broke past that. So then you get this kind of information here. They're giving you what they're up to, kind of. That's all. So you got, of course, the distance here. That's your trend, okay, and then you just kind of move it over here, and they can go that far. And so when I tell you that they went a little too far, you got to think about it. If you coming back down this way, how far is too far? And in my opinion, you can take out this. Let's go micro on this. Let's go two leg removal. Let's just do that with this little micro structure here. You can take out this, okay? You can take out this. Just don't take out this. All right. So when they close beneath here, I'm thinking, hey, let's turn back around. That type of information kind of makes sense. Now let's look at it this way here. All right, so you went up, you formed a high, Okay, and you did that. Now you can take out the first one. I know 930 is like really confusing to everybody because they be doing some crazy stuff. Sometimes they do. It's actually you can understand what's happening. You can if you just you got to slow it down. So if they didn't get past here on that trend up, let's say they did the trend up. If they didn't want to get past that after pushing down, they supposedly took it out, right? They didn't want to do that. Okay, you can take out this, just don't take out this. Take out this, don't take out this. And then they set a trend, and it's really interesting because the 930 came in here. Okay. And so your trend bar here was set. And so you go, here's your trend up to the close of the trend bar. So there's your close of your trend bar there. And we're going to get into that real time in just a second. I just want to make trading simple for you. Here you go. Really, really simple stuff. All right. So you can go at least that far, right? All right. So now that you got that out the way, let's take a look at some of this information with the order flow. Oh, we missed one. Oh, we missed one. Okay, well that's fine. That's fine. Let's see what they had going on since we missed it. They're still going down. We don't have an uptrend. Let's count our bars and see if we had one because they wiped it out and they have to be 6 higher than the first. They have to be higher than the first. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's slide that over. 3. And let's get some more. Yeah. 4. We got to go 4. They got to be higher. 5. There's 6. They're kind of doing the same thing we just talked about. Now we can do it in a micro sense. At 2 bars at least. You kind of want them to do at least 2 bars. Now you can go like this. I think them passing this would have been better, and then this. But sometimes they put a couple of them in here too. They just put just a couple of them. I do think this is I like this better. But let's go with it. All right, you can pass this. Just don't pass that. Turn back around. All right. Now clearly, they got a downtrend over here. You ran up there. You didn't want to break it. That's fine. That's fine. After making, okay, after making, and I'm broad stroking this information. Clearly, I know better. I can tell you some other stuff that can get you a lot closer. But this is where you start. Okay, it's really really simple. Just don't break this. All right. Now, if you break that, clearly, there's a chance you're going here. So anybody that's trying to buy this turn, I know you're not going to see the video in time, but hopefully you'll come back and watch this and say, hey, I had no business trying to buy this right here anyway. Now I know you see this information over here, even the more so. All right. So we made the new high. Okay. Made the new high. Okay. They broke both. That's not good. Now from this side, you can do it this way. Hey, all right. Hopefully, it's starting to make sense just a little bit. All right. Just a little something. Again, you can find all this information down below. All right. Now, let's get to our pattern while you watch the order flow stuff. All right. So now we got the low here. Well, no, I'm sorry. The mid not touching the low. All right. Mid not touching the low. A signal should show up here. Red bar level NC above here. Will they climb up higher? We'll see. But when you see that mid not touching that low, you can kind of go ahead and just jump the trade, stop right there, and get right in. You can, so that way you don't have to get in like way down here. Now you do have it from below here. You do, okay? You had it from below. No close under this bar here. No close. That's what the NC is for. No close. You don't want to see a close back beneath that price level. Now I know that stop and that close is like really really close because the bar with the color, the green bar with the level, that's the stop. Okay, so it's really, really close here. So there's a chance they're going to kick both, and plus they're at the back of that turn. All right, so kind of know that shouldn't work. Now, should they jump up here, no close above that bar here. You don't want them to close above that bar, and there's your hard stop. Price cannot get from point A to point B without this happening. And that's why I say it doesn't matter the method. I can assure you that I can put this up against any educator, any YouTube personality, and I guarantee you this one pattern alone will probably outperform whatever it is that they're suggesting, because whatever they're suggesting, you will find this pattern involved. And so it's not me. It's not that I'm smart. It's just the market itself is proving that it does something no matter what you're doing with your trading. If you're winning, this is involved. So it will win. And that's why it's going to stand against any strategy, because it's in it. And so it's undeniable. It has nothing to do with me. I want to say that it has nothing to do with me. It's just how it works. And that's why you see all the colored bars on the way. You see them on the way. They go into the colored bars and then they turn. They go into the colored bars and they turn. They go into the colored bars and they turn. It's repetitive. It's not going to stop. Okay. So I'm gonna scroll through the chart a little bit, and you can just again take all of that in. Colored bars create the bounce, or the sell off. Either which way. So you can take all that information in, and you'll see I'm absolutely all the cyclical activity, the back and forth. You'll see it all has to do with just this one pattern. One pattern. There's many more, and there's more to this information. There's a lot more I can tell you about these bars. Just one bar. There's a whole lot that I can tell you about this whole back and forth activity they have going on every day that will shock you. I mean, absolutely shock you. This is elementary and it's very simple, and that's why I want to give it to the public. It's very simple. It's not hard. It doesn't take 3 hours, 4 hours to explain this. This is really simple. All right, so they closed above here. That's still fine, as long as they don't hit the stop. But let's see what they do. Let's see what they do. All right, so let's check out data points over here. They got a lot of them. If you love order flow, let's do some of that. Let's look at that bottom. All right, so what kind of data do we have on that turn? I don't know what this stuff is, so I'm gonna just show it to you, and you can interpret whatever it is. I don't know. I don't know. I know I got these selected over here, so you'll have something to look at. Buy volume, sell volume, delta percentage, delta rate, and volume per second. So all of that stuff heating up and bars turning color. Really, really important stuff. And again, I'm just trying to show you what it is that you may be trading. You may be trading order flow. So uh, I can tell you that this is a part of that. So it's not going to go from point A to point B without this being involved. And so you don't have to wait till there's some gap here or whatever. That's crazy. Why not? Why not just wait until this candle's mid break that low? Why not just no sooner it breaks that low and put that distance there? Okay, it's fluid. No sooner that candle get beneath that low, that mid should fall low enough. It's the performance of the bar that we're reading. We're reading how strong the bar's activity is, how the flow, if you will, coming in to see how the low is coming towards the low of the bar. When you see the low begin to break it, just go ahead and get in, put your stop right there, and no close back above here, and take the trade. Make it simple. Don't make it complicated. It don't have to have 3 bars. You don't even have to have two close on you. 2 bars don't have to close. That's called increasing risk. I'm not into that. So I like hey, small risk. Hey, let's see, can we get a big target? All right. So now if you see this gap here, this supposed gap, if you see this, you can wait for them to come back. I know that's real popular now to trade gaps for some reason, but that's not proper trading, not with professionals. So they're not trying to, deal with a whole lot of risk. Risk is the problem. You're having to control what you can control. I can't control how far it goes per se. Well, I really can't, but I can have an idea how far it goes, So, but what I can control is how much I'm gonna lose. And so I don't want to wait until you go and come all the way back, because when you come back, you could be telling me that you're willing to go even further. Okay, so you got to remember to keep that in mind, is that when the market comes back towards you, it's a chance that they're proving that they can go further that way. So you might want to just kind of participate on the way, kind of go ahead and participate on the way. It's not always good to go in the opposite direction. Not always good. All right. Just want to put that in front of you. But there's times again that you would have to, like this, when it popped up, if you just pulled up the platform and you wasn't able to be a part of this decline, yes, you would probably have to, yeah, I'm not gonna say just step in front of this. It's okay, as you can clearly see, to wait till it turns back around and prove to you that it's going to go this way. Some would say it's risky, but I tell you, it's riskier if you keep stepping in front of the market. I'll just say it that way. So now let's see what our data points are telling us. Uh, I don't know. Again, this is for those that read order flow. You can leave a message below and say, "Hey, when this did this or whatever." I still would tell you, it's as simple as what I'm trying to explain to you. It's performance. All it is, ebbs and flows. So if the market is going to continue lower, if you see the force, the speed, however you want to explain it, if you see that coming in, just like they have this volume per second. The performance of the bar can be measured just with what I'm explaining to you. If you see the mid falling beneath that low, that's more than half the candle committing to that direction without any opposition, if you will. So that's ease. It should easily keep going. All right, so let's go with it with that. Let's do something simple that we can explain to the people that are around us that may want to understand our profession or whatever it is that we're doing with this. All right, so if you're not making this a career, maybe it's just something you want to do, part time, but it's a profession for me. So I want to be able to explain to you my job. I'm not a physicist and I'm not an astronaut. So I want to be able to explain to you exactly what I'm doing without convoluting it and making it hard for you to understand. Trading is already hard, losing money to it sometimes. So you don't want to make it harder for someone to have a, I guess, a language barrier that they have to overcome in order to get an idea of how to trade. And I'm trying to prevent that from being, again, the problem. So to all my subscribers, I hope you guys are enjoying the content. I'm really trying my best to make this as simple as possible so you can kind of, again, just make it easy for yourself when you're doing it. That's all. And so, did we break the low yet? No, we're kind of pulling up. This is a no close level. NC above this bar, no close above this bar. Again, the force was here. The performance of the bar was dropping really, really hard beneath this low. So let's see if they're still at least operating above this price to keep this down. And of course, the hard stop is there. Now, again, you can see all this information here. Again, you have some information going on here. Again, you can do all of that. I just plotted some swings in here. That's all. So this is the tick. Clearly, this is the tick, and you can plot a swing indicator inside of it. Kind of, I guess describe to you your ebbs and flows of your bars. If you want to do that, you can do that too. But let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. It heated up a little bit down here. I guess the saturation changed on the color. Let's see what we got. Okay, so we got another situation here with a no close and the hard stop here. All we can do is just see what they'll do from above, and of course, price is just getting pushed down. Let's see how all of that work. Now, I'm just going to give you this in real time for a little bit here, and then we're going to start looking at the stocks, the forex, and the oils. We're going to dive into that. We just want to see them take out this low, and then we're going to take a look at that. And again, I want to give you this order flow information because, if you're into this, I want you to be able to see it too. You can kind of compare the information that I'm saying to you with this. Okay, you can kind of compare them both. All right, so let's see if they can get through this low. Where else is we going? Let me blow this up because we're going somewhere else. I can pretty much assure you. Oh yeah, let me show you that. That may help. Oh, you know what? Let me give you back your order flow. Hold on. That may help because I covered this. I covered this. I actually been covering this for a while on the channel. If you've been paying attention, I've been covering this daily for a while, and we've been calling that 550, and they got there on yesterday. But guess what? I did tell you they were going somewhere else up here. I actually said they can get to probably about 950, but they're turning at our static level. All right, so they're turning there. So if you're wondering, what's the response and why it's doing that, we have that static level at 850, and again, this is the first zone. All right, first zone here, they're turning at it. All right, so if you want to know what the static levels is, you can click that trading guide link below. You can find all the information with the static levels. Yeah, there go the break of that low. Let's see what our numbers are telling us. The heat map is heating up here. Oh, the numbers above on this one. All right, so the heat map is heating up. They're breaking that low. Here's the ranges. You can find these ranges too on the trading guide channel. We've been trying. Matter of fact, yesterday, that's when I did the video. Price was there. I got to add some data. Hold on. But we've been tracking this for some days now. Let me just put a few days. There was a price level, I think it was 216.75. I called on the 30th, and they had been hanging out. Yeah, yeah, that's it. So yeah, we had been tracking this for a while. It was back on. It was actually before the 6th, but 216.75. Been telling them that way back on the 30th, and it got there and kind of did that cyclical stuff. But if you want to get the ranges, you can definitely get those. You can get those ranges. You absolutely can get them. Again, really, really easy stuff. Kind of give you some location, give you some context, and then you can go with the trend. And again, you can see the response. You can see the response to these ranges. All right, that's the overnight one, and that's this morning. And of course, there's yesterday. All right, so you can kind of catch these runs. You can do that. And again, the static level, that static level on that daily, you can get that information too down there on the trading guide. You will go 650. I mean, 850 down to, I mean, up to 950, and then 950 to 050. We flipped this zone here. We flipped this so it can be demand, and that was 550 down to 450. All right, one tick outside the zone is going to the next one, likely. All right, so just want to give you some simple stuff, and again, that's free. I put the static levels in there. I put the ranges in there, and I even showed you how to trade the chart scale. You can do that too. I can kind of just outline it a little bit here, just to give you some other information. Here's the mid of the chart. Mid of the chart here, you're bearish. Okay, so in the lower, now here's the lower portion of the chart. You can divide that in half. Here's the lower portion of the chart. Here's the upper portion of the chart. And so if they rotate up, we're going to just look at this for a second. Then we're going to go to the other information here. Let's see if they can come up here and then turn back away. Let's see if they can do that. You really don't want, it's not to say that they can't come up here and still turn away. I just think they may set a trend if they get this far. But they could do that and then turn back around. Now, if you're viewing it, let's say you're viewing it from this side, you can see how they got near, that lower half and kind of rotated back up, then came back above the midpoint and then turned around. You can actually use your chart, is all I'm saying to you. You can use your chart scale to kind of get an idea of what price to do. That's all. You can tell by how they get down to the mid and then they may rotate back in the opposite direction. So I did an 18-minute video on how to use your chart, these ranges and that static, to get turning points in the market. Just turning points, mere turning points. All right. So want to give you some simple information to kind of get you wherever you want to go with your trading. So let's see if it'll rotate up. I'm gonna come back to this. I'm gonna just leave that there for a moment. We're gonna go and take a look at the stocks and the oils and the metals. We'll take a look at all that information. Let me go grab that right now. So let's take a look at that stuff while that's going on. All right, so Apple, I had told you about that. Well, actually, I told you about it when they were over here. They were over here, and I told you that the low, of this bar shouldn't be broken because when they gapped up, the high of this candle wasn't touching the mid of that gap. Okay, that's a big green candle. So no close back under here. I told you that, but when they had gapped up, and you can check up there in the upper left, 189.17. Then they came down and they hit that 189.20, got really, really close, and then turned around and popped back up. And then I came back and I told you, they had a trend. They had set a trend. The trend is down. And so, of course, they start coming down. And I even told you they don't be here because they was doing that, low, not touching that mid, low, not touching that mid, and that they were wiping that scenario out. And then I also told you that they had that scenario over here to the left, should they want to reverse and go back up. And so your first no close bar was here, all right, roughly. And you can see they got there and didn't want to close beneath it right away. And then here's your second no close bar here. And of course, the low of this bar, okay, right there at that low. And you can tell they didn't want to do it and then they gapped up. However, you got your no close up here. They're acting like they want to roll over. You don't have a trend in place per se yet. Now, when I first start covering this information, I started with Bitcoin. Now I'm gonna go. Let's see, can we go back to where I started? All right, so I started. It was over here on this big green bar, and of course they made that trend distance, and then I came back, and I believe price was over here, and we was looking to see what they would do, and I told you that this, this was a little bit of risk. But they leaned back, and of course, they tried to set a trend in this direction. The only problem is they didn't break this. They didn't break this. Remember, you can break this, just don't break that. And then they turned around and gave you the trend distance again. And that was the last time I had covered that. All right, now let's take a look at the USD JPY. All right, now I did cover this and told you they was in a downtrend. All right, so I'm gonna shrink the chart so we can just kind of get it all. All right, so price was here. They had just did that big hammer, if you will. They had the no close bar here, and I told you that, and they had a trend in the backdrop. And of course, they had this information here. This bar's low isn't touching that mid. That was the no close, and I put that level there. And then I came back and price was like over here, and they still hadn't, got up there. And I know people saw that big old pin bar, whatever you want to call it. They were going back up there, but of course, as you can see, it didn't work. All right, so that's the JPY, USD JPY. Now let's take a look at the pound USD. You can see that I covered it here. All right, here's the distance here. There's your no close bar setup. This is the hard stop. There's the no close bar here. They closed beneath it here, but there's the hard stop. They didn't tag it. They even leaned over, got near it. They got near it. There you go. They got near it, but they didn't tag it. All right, so they didn't tag it. And of course, they gave you more of the trend distance just on the way up. There you go. And so the Euro USD, let's take a look at that too. Now, this one was interesting because I told you when we were on this bar here that they didn't set our trend. They didn't set it. This came in lower. And I told you this will be interesting because they were here on this bar. And that's that day I covered it. And I told you there's no trend, uptrend yet. And they came down, and I did give you the pattern. I said, hey, this will be the no close bar. There's the hard stop. They pulled directly up on it and they popped up. Okay, so they came really close. Let's get that low. Okay, so that low 89.39, this low here 89.42. So they got really close, popped up, but again, there was no trend set. All right, and then they gave you some more down, and there's your turnaround. You can see once they make the trend, they'll just keep going. So try not to get deterred. Then we covered silver. All right, so silver here, you can see here's your uptrend. We covered this. There's the the activity here. Price was up here. I believe it was on this bar right here. All right, and I gave you the no close right there on this bar here. There's the no close. I'm sorry, it was back here. No close was back here because this bar size is not touching the mid. There's the hard stop. They had leaned over, and I came back. I think price was on this bar right here. They had leaned back, but they never hit that stop, and then they gave you the trend distance. And lo and behold, they turned around, and they they came back down, and I get it. And they even did the two-leg removal. Here's one, here's two. They clipped them both, but they never got down there. Let's see, one, two, three, four, five. But they only gave you five down. There's no trend yet to the downside, and there's your trend back up. So you got to learn the trend. It's really, really simple here. Now, I gave you this information here. Price was up here on this red bar. I do remember this red bar. I do remember that. And there's the no close. And I told you this was, a considerable amount of risk from there to there. They leaned back, got near here, and then rotated back up. And I told you that they should break that high. They should. And price was over here. I said they should break that high. And of course, they did that and made the trend distance, then lean back. All right. So, and they never took out your trend, and they broke this. They broke this, but they didn't break that. They didn't break that, and there's your turnaround. All right, so they're back up. All right, really, really simple stuff. All right, so here we go. Here's your there's your trend. Yeah, okay, yeah. We were over here. Price was on this bar, and I told you be careful because they had just made this scenario here. They had just made this one after making the trend distance. So I told you be careful that can cause somewhat of an issue. And of course, they came down, and I told you when I came back, I said they're building the trend. Well, they're building, the move to come back through here to make the trend distance because there's no trend here. But I knew that could end up being an issue. I knew that. I'm be honest with you. I knew that. So because once they make the trend distance, you'll kind of see the behavior. They'll turn around on you. So you got to be careful. So I told you they was building a scenario over here with the bars, not touching here. They're not touching, and they're not touching, and they lean back, and then they pushed again. They made the trend. That's when they dropped back. But do notice the behavior. They broke this. They didn't break this. Okay, and then there's your up. All right. So and then that's when we jumped on Apple. All right. So we're gonna come back to this in just a second. Just let me pull this out of frame. They didn't make it. They didn't get up there to us. They just didn't want to make it. They didn't they didn't want to get up there higher. They didn't. I thought they would reach up and give us time enough to take a look at that. But let's look at some more order flow stuff, and then I will be letting you go. I don't want to hold you long. We're back at the range. We're back at the range here, right at the top of the range. We made it back to the overnight range. All right. So I hope that you have found this information much informative. The job is to try to get you profitable in a very simple, free way. It's free. Now, I'm an educator. I've been doing this for many, many years, but I want to give you something free. All right. Something free. If you need anything more, you can find my information down below should you want to go any further. But the main goal is to give you something free, something that can just turn you profitable. You don't have to buy my services. I'm doing this for free. I'll do just fine without anybody purchasing my services. I do just fine. All right. So, but if you need more help, and that's the thing, if you need more help, I'm here. All right. So you can find all this information right here in the Universal Price Action Method list. You can even see me take live trades. I passed the prop account in this one in like 23 minutes. And then I did some other information there. Even did the PA account in there too. I think I did like 3,000 in that morning. And so the trading guide should give you everything that you would need as far as like the information I just covered. You can go into the trading guide. You'll probably watch about 2 hours and a half all the way through, about 2 hours and a half, but you'll learn everything I just talked about, everything. And so that information should be able to get you started and get you a great foundation without having to waste I don't know, 5 years of your life trying to figure trading out, or another 50 hours of listening to somebody say a bunch of stuff that's hard to understand. All right. So I wish you all the best with your trading. And if you, again, if you need me, you're more than welcome to contact me. And I'm here. And again, thank you, my subscriber. I gotta say this again. Thank you. Thank you for having come on board. Thank you to all of you guys. I really thank you for supporting the channel. And if you like what I'm doing, my job is really, really simple, is to help those that need it. And that's my main objective, is to help those that really, really need it. If you find this information useful, please hit the like button, you guys. Be responsible. Leave a tip. That's a way of leaving a tip. And I believe that, you guys would do that. At least I hope you would. All right. So I wish you all the best with your trading. Take care.